Hi everyone, welcome back to another gameplay of PTD6. I wanted to do this video because just by playing out a couple of games in the 10.0 patch, I found out that the Alchemists have been hugely nerfed, and so I wanted to show you how the nerf is. But first of all, there must be made a distinction between when you're using or not using Monkey Knowledge. Because of the fact that here in Magic there is one point that's gonna say that the potions have a 5% faster reload time, and the fact that in support you can get also faster reload time for all monkeys. When you are not using Monkey Knowledge, the Alchemist nerf is gonna be even more visible, and so I'm gonna show it to you without and then with Monkey Knowledge, just to show you the difference. So before this patch, the Alchemist 400 was able to buff 2 towers without anything else. So if I place here 2 ninjas, before this patch, if I could get the Alchemist 400 like this, he could be able to buff both of the towers, even without Monkey Knowledge. When I look at what happens in the 10.0 patch, only one of the ninjas in this case is being buffed by the brew. Now what is important to distinguish, because you can see these green bubbles coming out of the ninjas, that is the mixer dip that the Alchemist is going to throw at monkeys. It's going to allow them to pop lit Bloons and do extra damage to ceramic mob class Bloons, but it's also wear off quickly. So these green bubbles are the mixer dip. Instead, the yellow circle at the feet of the ninja is the brew. The worst thing about this nerf of the Alchemist potions and the brew buffing is the fact that even if I get here faster attack speed from the Alchemist, see that is still buffing only one ninja with the brew. And even if I get even more attack speed with a village, with jungle drums, still the Alchemist is able to buff only one of the 2 ninjas. And this is a huge nerf, because before this patch, an Alchemist 402 with a village 200, even without Monkey Knowledge was able to buff 3 different towers. But now I can buff only 1. And the only way that I can make this Alchemist to buff more than 1 tower, so 2 towers, is by getting here Cola Arms, and therefore having an activated ability that is going to increase the overall attack speed. And so it's going to make the Alchemist attack so fast that it's going to start, at least for the duration of the ability, is going to buff 2 ninjas. You can see here I activated the ability, and now these 2 ninjas are being buffed by the brew. You can see here the yellow circle at the feet of the ninja. But of course, when the ability goes off, then the Alchemist return to buff only one of the 3 ninjas. So depending on the position of the tower, the Alchemist is always going to prioritize the tower that is the closest to him, not the one that is the strongest. So for example, here I get an Alchemist, right? I get right here a 302 Sangat, so a very expensive tower. I get right here a middle distance, a ninja 401, right? But I get the closest to the Alchemist, I get this Dark Monkey. If I get the Alchemist now 400, he's not gonna buff the Sangat, he's not gonna buff the ninja, he's gonna buff the closest tower to it. That was the Dark Monkey. So you need to be very careful of where you place the Alchemist, because it's gonna buff the tower that is the closest to it, not the strongest one. Just showing now what happens when you have Monkey Knowledge. So when you have those 2 buffs that are gonna make the Alchemist to attack faster. simply the total amount of towers that the Alchemist can buff is one more. Okay, that's the difference. So if I get place again, Ninja, Alchemist, another Ninja, and I get this Alchemist 400, it's gonna buff one of the two ninjas with the brew. If I get a 402 Alchemist, he's still buffing only one of the two ninjas, see, with the brew. But then finally, if I get more attack speed with the village, now finally this Alchemist has enough attack speed to buff both ninjas. But a third tower here is not buffed. So if I get a third ninja, it's gonna be buffed by the mixer dip. You can see the green bubbles, but it's not buffed by the Alchemist buff. So in this case, you can see that the Alchemist has switched the monkeys that he's giving the brew on, because it seems that this ninja is closer to it than this one, and so now he's buffing these two ninjas. And therefore, if I want to make this Alchemist able to buff 3 different towers with the brew, Call Arms is not enough, because the attack speed that Call Arms gives is not enough to make the Alchemist make the jump to be able to buff 3 towers. So if I use it now, you can see here that this ninja is not buffed, so keeps not being buffed throughout the whole duration of the ability. I need here to get Homeland Defense, and with Homeland's Defense ability, now I can give enough attack speed to this Alchemist to buff 3 ninjas. It should be here, but it's not happening though. Okay, so I don't know why it's not buffing it. Maybe it was too distant, I don't know. But it should be able to buff 3 towers with the Homeland Defense ability. Yeah, see now? Yeah, see now 3. So it was just because the ninja was slightly too far away from the Alchemist, that's why it wasn't being buffed. So while the ability is lasting, the Alchemist can buff 3 towers. Without it, you can buff 2 towers with Monkey Knowledge on. And of course, if you're not considering getting a permabrew, but a permabrew, it's quite expensive, and so this nerf on the Alchemist is huge. And the main reason for this is because in chimps, we don't have Monkey Knowledge on. So that means that in the chimps gameplays now, the Alchemist buffing ratio is 1-to-1. So the Alchemist will be able, despite all the attack speed that you can give to it, unless you're having a 240 village that is gonna, and only when you have the activated ability on, the Alchemist will be able to buff only 1 tower. So if you have here, for example, a ninja, and then you have a Sun God, a Sun Avatar, the Alchemist is gonna choose one of the 2 to be buffed, the one that is the closest to him. So in this case, for example, because the Super Monkey is pretty huge, I cannot place the Super Monkey closer to the Alchemist, and so I'm gonna need to be especially careful about how I place my towers and how I place the Alchemist, so that the Alchemist will be buffing, in this case, the Super Monkey, and it's not gonna buff the ninja. So I can place, for example, the ninja right here, or here, I don't know, somewhere to a little more distant than the Super Monkey, so the Alchemist will still choose to buff the Super Monkey and not the ninja. So especially the chimps gameplays, I think, are gonna be affected by this huge nerf. And yeah, that was the video, guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and see ya. Bye bye.